I'm Peter Droll. I'm in charge of prosperity in EU research and innovation. And part of our ambition to make Europe stronger in these moments in our transition to sustainability is to turn knowledge into value for society and using all we can do, all our instruments to that purpose. So we have here three young people who come from different parts of Europe, from Riga, from Nice, from Poznan, have worked in different parts of Europe as well. They're at early stages in their career. There are two common elements for all the three of them. They want to start their own business, and they have benefited from programs, national or European programs, which were strengthening the cooperation between academia, universities, and business entrepreneurship. So the purpose for this morning is to hear from them, to listen to you three about your experience and hear from you what we can do more to strengthen Europe. And I would like to start with Lucy Monticelli. Lucy, can you tell us about yourself and about your experience? Yourself and your experience, Lucy.
Okay, so with pleasure. Hello, everyone. So I'm Lucy Monticelli. I obtained my PhD in 2018 in Sophia Antipolis in France. So I worked during 3 years on the study of ecological driver modulating host range of parasitoids, but in a general way, I work on biocontrol. So initially, I wanted to pursue my research in the framework of a career in academic research. So I continue as a postdoctoral fellow in Nice and then in Dijon, so still in France, so where I work on the impact of agroecological practice on pollination and biocontrol. So my field, it's more like agriculture. And one day, a colleague of mine, with whom I often discuss about research and our respective works, proposed me to develop our research work in the framework of a startup. And my first reaction was like, no way. So it seems very risky to me, and it took me out of the path how I had trust to get a position one day in the academic research. But then I thought about it, and I said to myself that it was the ideal opportunity to transfer the information from the laboratory to the real world, which I'm not sure sometimes it's happened. So after a few months of reflections, so still a few months, I finally accepted, and I'm here. But the problem was at that time that I didn't know anything about the world of entrepreneurship. So I decided to follow a training with evening classes at the university, the Nice Côte d'Azur University, and I obtained a degree of student entrepreneurship. So it was a 6 months training, which enabled me to acquire the necessary vocabulary and knowledge in a large number of fields such as finance, legal, human resources. And we were also followed by a business manager to help us in all the different steps needed to reach the next steps. So I was able to create my first business model, which actually I didn't really think it was possible because of my initial skill in this field. But the teachers are really attentive and they ask us a lot of questions we would never think about it before. So in this way, we were just making progress step by step. And then we participate in competition and won prizes such as the iPhD Innovation Contest from BPI France, where they allow us to be followed for 1 year with a lot of people explaining different characteristic of the entrepreneurship, and we make really, really great progress in this way. So today I'm a postdoctorate in order to maturate my idea. So we have to carry the proof of concept and to refine the business model because it's actually changed all the time, but it's normal. So all of that is possible thanks to the IDEX of the Université Côte d'Azur and the Southern region, which finance us that we can pass from the stage of the idea to the stage of the feasible project. So Clearly today, I do not regret my choice. This situation requires a lot of patience and perseverance, but I feel in my place, well surrounded, and I want to take up this challenge to contribute to a more sustainable agriculture.
Thank you, Lucy. Very clear.
So not typical history.
Yes, we'll come back to that. Let me turn to Nikolai Melnichuk. Nikolai, what is your experience? How did you come to the idea of becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah, glad to see you, Peter, you ladies, and greetings to all the audience. So since I was a child, my grandmother has told me that I'm gonna be a leader, and she still is saying that I'm a leader. But until the started my journey in the university, I didn't understood what does she mean. Because when I joined the university, I finally started to understand that this is my way to lead my life, not lead other people, but I can start with leading myself towards my goals and the things that I want to do. And this is basically the time when I started to thinking, what can I do with my time to accomplish my goals, to achieve that what I want. And university provides a lot of opportunities for people like me to express themselves, to try different projects. And for me, it was very important that I had an energy and I had a time, and I just wanted to myself. I wanted to work to implement my knowledge in the real life. And unfortunately, at that time, it was a pandemic. There were pandemic restrictions, and I was limited in my options. But I was lucky to join a Finnish project called Demola. And this Demola, they offered the collaboration between academia and the business in the form that a business has a case that they want to solve, and they come to Demola, and Demola finds like 5 students for them, creates a team, and then facilitate the process of solving that problem. So it was a remarkable time when we had a team of 5 from all the Europe, and throughout 8 weeks we used different techniques, from analysis, then to ideation, then to creating a prototype, and testing this prototype in the real life, interviewing other people. So I learned so much good skills that are ready to implement in the real world. And besides that, I got something much more valuable, which is network and friends. And we have a chance to build something together, to pursue a common goal for the better future, because this is what we want to do. And I think like this was a part of my plan. And in my future, like my main project right now is taking Demola to Poland and implementing it here. And I'm writing my bachelor's about that. So this will be my future for the next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nikolai. Very different paths we hear already. So very good. We can inspire a different path to entrepreneurship. So Maria Grinavicas, tell us about yourself and your story on your way to become entrepreneur.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this event. I am Maria Grinavica, and I'm going to tell you about my experience as a participant in the business simulation game, Business 24, that is organized by the BA School of Business and Finance in Riga, Latvia. The Business 24 game is prepared in partnership with industry, and it involves both high school and university students. I participated in the game as a first-year student, and it gave me a remarkable experience. Besides, it helped me to build a business-oriented mindset at an early learning stage. It was the first glimpse into the business world. Moreover, it highlighted the need of creating the links between education and business, and the importance of being innovative in today's society. I was only 19 years old with no professional experience in business. And as a participant, I obtained fresh knowledge and skills for problem solving, critical thinking, and communication in the team. Thus, we set an efficient business strategy that led us to the victory in the game. We created a novel product and introduced it into the market. So, for me, it opened a new vision of business and guided me in getting to the point where I am now in my life. In addition, I have to point out that practice is crucial in future careers when considering challenges that are posed by the 21st century. Having such expertise at a young age benefited me in better understanding the concepts I have been studying in later years. You can learn theory, but it will never be as useful as combining it with real-world experience. Further, this game opened my eyes and helped me to understand the core of the business, the challenges that you must go through, and lead me to look for possibilities to establish my own business. I have a vision for what it might be, and I've been thinking about it for the past 5 years. All I need to do now is connect all the dots and start to work on it.
Thank you, Maria. Very inspiring indeed. What I hear from you is a colleague who asks, would you want to start to join me in a startup? A grandmother who predicts leadership, a program also in high schools already, making you think how you can link it with your vision. Can I ask you, have you been in a situation where you needed to justify that you, Maria or Nikolai, anything to add from your side before I go to the next question?
Yeah, maybe I'll add on. As I'm young, I don't have like a lot of obligations on myself, so I have a big freedom of what I want to do, and basically all activities or projects that I was joining in my past or I will join in my future, they will depend solely on the extent of my will and of my possibilities, what I think that I can do. And basically, right now, when you are young, you have to engage in everything and try as much different things as you can to certainly know what you want to do in the future and where you want to be.
Yeah. Maria?
Yes, I can add that I'm very happy that universities in Latvia are very, I would say, great in terms of offering different opportunities for students, and we have quite a lot of opportunities that we can do. So it's very important, and I always highly appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay, so in a supportive environment, yeah. Thank you. So now comes the big question. Imagine you were in charge of European research innovation. Thinking about your steps so far, what you have seen, what works, what doesn't work, what would be your recommendation? What is there something missing? What would you do if you have now the magic stick and could take this decision? Maria, can I start with you?
Yes, thank you. I will continue what I just said. So I would definitely try to promote as well as financially support such activities as Business 24 Game in Latvia to help students to build a business-oriented mindset and an early learning stage. And in my opinion, it is vital to provide students and youngsters with opportunities to obtain business experience from a young age. And the Business 24 Game is an excellent approach to gain not just practical experience, but also adds value to the future career. And we have to keep in mind that as countries are pushing towards new innovations, companies need people with high-level transferable skills. So Europe can only seize these opportunities if people develop the right skills to explore their full potential. And I am lucky that my today's job is closely linked with tasks that we did during the game, that is business-oriented project management. And of course, such game led me to think about establishing my own business and working on it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll come to that in a moment. Nikolai, what would be your first act in office?
Yeah, I would elaborate on a phrase that Maria said in her speech about preparing us, young people, for the challenges of the 21st century. We need more tools on that, and I definitely know. My answer will have two aspects. First one is personal, a second one is more global. So for the personal aspect, I would mention that I will need a help with implementing the Demola in Poland, in my university, in the Adam Mickiewicz University, because I tried the Demola model myself, and I know the reviews of that, and I know that European Commission also checked this Demola model, and I know that this instrument offers a big variety for students to pick for their future, and it makes all of them the best. So while I'm writing my bachelor's and preparing a plan how to implement the Demola model in my university, I hope it will create a domino effect. While one department in the university pushes the whole university, and then one university pushes all universities in the country, and then one country changes the whole EU. And basically, I think this is the way how we can do it, and to start small and then just grow and be like a big avalanche. And the second aspect, which is global, it's about the industry of the future, and the industry where future tech companies will appear, which is Web3. And we as a Europe should become a hub for Web3 companies, because we have a lot of talented people. And in universities, we need more education courses and collaboration with Web3 companies regarding this topic, because it's an industry where I have seen a lot of talented young people, but they're all self-made. They are not getting this knowledge in the institutions, and most of them are not doing it right, and they may have a lot of mistakes in their path. So what I want what I suppose you to do is to take an example of Portugal and be more like Portugal, because they implement a lot of innovative techniques and explore different new industries. And this helps them create a lot of job opportunities for students, and attracts more companies from other countries. And this way, we will create Europe, a hub for innovation and for the business of the future. Thank you.
Very strong. Thank you. Learning from others, from other countries. Thanks, Nikolai. Lucy, if you were the commissioner in charge of research and innovation and education, building on your experience, what would you do?
Well, firstly, really great answers from the two others here. It's really nice, but it's too late for me because I finished my study. So, but I miss all of this information when I was younger. So it's really nice that you both guys can get all the information about entrepreneurship as young as you are now. And so now, from the step I am. From now, I start to think about the project. I got finance about it. But one of the tips we are often given is to create a strong networks with key partners and discuss our project with people from all different domains. And it's sometimes really difficult, actually, to identify the potential partners, and especially on the European scale. So it would be actually interesting to, make a list of all the entrepreneurial projects that exist to allow the laboratory and the companies to identify and follow up on projects of interest. Because maybe sometimes the laboratory don't want to take the risk of creating a startup, but someone is already working in this field, and there can be interesting to transfer the technology. And for the project leader, for the people like me that creating their own project, it could be nice to have a database allowing to find the contact of the people working on the same field. Because if someone is already working on, like I have a project, but sometimes there is like sub question, and maybe some laboratory are already working on this kind of project, and it can enable me to win a lot of time and a laboratory to transfer their idea to a company and to enable to apply this idea in the real world. So I really think it can be really nice to have big partnership in Europe, like strong link between people in all Europe, because we are all from the same union, and it can be really nice.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Very strong messages here. And the European added value is indeed a lot about partnerships, as you say, about connecting, about hubs, and about the skill set Maria was referring to. So we are in the heart of the entrepreneurial EU discussion we are having also here. And I'm really impressed with your ideas and proposals. Thank you very much for that. Actually, we could think of listening also to Nikolai. We could think of linking your discussion, the discussion here today, with the conference on the future of Europe. So maybe it's good that you stay connected and engaged and make Europe stronger also in that forum. Unfortunately, time is flying and we need to come to the final round, the closing, this opening session. I would be very curious to hear from you. How would you, what is the key message you would leave to others listening to you at your stage of a career? What would be your final quote, recommendation, key message for those here today connected at the EU Valorization Week? Shall we start with Nikolai? Nikolai?
Yeah. So I would say, and I would recommend to all young people, just two words: energy and action. First you have energy, and then the action follows. And this is basically all you have to do in the beginning. Have energy and act.
Lucy?
Yes, so fully agree. And in my side will be like, go ahead. Don't be afraid. I mean, there is a lot of people that can help you in entrepreneurship. You don't know everything, and it's normal, but a lot of people know about that and are really pleased to help you. So just go ahead. You have an idea, you want to change something in your world or in the world, don't hesitate. Go ahead, it will work.
Excellent. Maria?
Yes, I agree with my colleagues, and I will just add that you must work hard if you want to succeed in life and achieve your goals. And it is significant to surround yourself with people who motivate, support, and inspire you in business and to get more innovative ideas.
Thank you so much.